What is up, everyone? It is I, Magician88, and I'm going to be casting a game sent to me by none other than no, not EG anymore, IdrA, Greg Fields. As part of being a subscriber to IdrA's channel, I get to cast, I get to get a replay pack sent with the month's games. Now, it looks like this time he sent me a gigantic replay pack full of all of the month's games, so I've just been going through and finding perhaps the biggest files that hopefully hold the most epic games. So I don't know how well this game is going to be, but anyway, let's introduce our players. In the top right hand corner, spawning as the red Zerg, it is going to be IdrA. Let's see. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner as the blue Terran, it is STX Soul's Byun. And of course, Byun, the one who came runner-up in MLG against Polt. Very exciting match, a very exciting matchup that was. IdrA, of course, just being none other than IdrA, everyone's favorite BM guy who knows how to just talk shit, get hit, more or less. But regardless, it looks like IdrA is doing the standard ZVT, which is just going to open hatch first, with no gas anyway. He did actually do an extractor trick, which I think is a bit of a strange decision to go for. I, for one, normally don't go for that. I normally just let my Overlord build, and I can build 3 drones right in one foul swoop. But of course, if IdrA decides to go for that, of course, we'll just let him do it. IdrA actually going to go for a pull before gas, so maybe he is looking to go for a bit more of a defensive build as opposed to saying gas before build, trying to get that metabolic boost up so his Zerglies can have the speed to catch things like Reapers. But we should be seeing early queens, slightly earlier queens anyway, from IdrA. Meanwhile, Byun going for a standard 1 Rax Reaper, which will come out very soon to get a lot of scouting information. It has already been rallied right into IdrA's main base, although he has actually rallied it just around here, which means he may be trying to hide it so that he can get maybe 2 of them, so he can do a bit more scouting and even do some harass. Now it looks like the queen is already popping out for IdrA, and as I said, that's a bit of an early queen, especially since IdrA does not even have 100 gas to get the metabolic boost just yet. Metabolic boost is actually a really good upgrade for Zerg. These Zerglies, of course, are going to have a really hard time catching this Reaper, but this Reaper is actually going to have to try and run away right now, and we'll have to scout out what's happening. Now, he knows that there is a spawning pool because of the Zerglings, but he also knows that right now lair is not being done, which is normal. Nobody really ever goes that quickly into lair, especially against Terran, who have something like scans or Reapers for that early scouting. But anyway, here comes the second Reaper. It's going to try and maybe put on some pressure against IdrA, who only has a couple of lings to defend. These two Reapers with a bit of micro should be able to take out these lings, but the Queen popping out at just the right time, actually going to do a bit of damage and scare away these Reapers. These Reapers are probably going to have a really hard time taking out this Queen. You gotta remember that Queens actually spawn with 1 base armor already, and as you can see, this Queen is already doing some work on these Reapers. Now, it appears I forgot to change my damage bar because I'm a bit of an idiot, so we're going to change it to damaged. Definitely makes the casting a lot more easier. Don't have to click all over the place anyway. Now you may be, as we are waiting for the game to just move into, I guess, the second phase, which will probably be the mid-game, you may be wondering, hey, this is a new replay UI that you are using. That is true. I am actually using the new streamlined replay UI that is given by Blizzard as part of patch 2.1.10 or 2.0.10, I think that's called. This is a new replay UI. There's another one called the Split 1v1, which I think is just basically the same as I had before. This new one has a Units Lost tab here, which is I think, hang on, there should be a Units Lost tab, which I'm actually just trying to figure out right now. the... Interesting. I'll have to figure out how to use the units lost tab. There should be like a diagram of which units have been lost, and maybe if we put our vision on IdrA cam right now, I will just go and try and find out, because I am just that unprofessional. Let's see. And already it looks like we have a bunch of lings trying to attack these Hellions, and of course you've got to remember that these lings can actually catch up to those Hellions, so the Hellions really need to do a bit more micro than that. This Hellion's actually going to fall with 2 lings left with a tiny bit of health. That's a little bit unfortunate. It's not going to be the game changer just yet, and we already have the expansion down for Byun. He's going to look to go for a third very soon. Does IdrA actually see this? Yes, he does. So he knows that Byun is going to try and go for his third very soon. Meanwhile, IdrA might consider going for the fourth, usually around right here, but he could actually try something else. Creep Spirit, although, is actually suggesting that he's going to try and expand to this expansion, which is very safe. It's a lot safer than the other expansions that he can get. That poor Ling on hold command. Not the best way to do it. Let's see. Shift L. There we go, so we have the units lost tab, which is actually Shift L, guys. So as you can see right now, apparently lava is considered as a loot unit lost. Every lava that is not being used is considered a unit lost, apparently. So it looks like IdrA already lost 5 queens that quickly into the game, which I think is, that can't be right. How did IdrA manage to lose 5 queens? I guess the harassment of Byun is actually pretty damn good. Wow, he must have used those Reapers to the max to try and kill 5 queens that quickly, because queens are pretty damn hard to kill, especially by using Reapers and Hellions. Even Marines have a bit of a hard time killing queens. But right now, oh, do we have the huge surround here? Yes, we do, and IdrA managing to do quite a bit of damage to these Marines, but unfortunately the Marines are just simply way too good against the Zerglings. Now, can these Zerglings prevent the Marines from getting back into the bunker? No, they do not. So that is unfortunate. 3 Marines do manage to survive that whole ordeal. Meanwhile, we do have a bunch of Widow Mice being created. They are actually just sitting around all over the place, and I think this one did a bit of damage to scare IdrA a bit. Now, see if Byun decides to do this a huge drop with these 8 Marines. Meanwhile, IdrA, oh, trying to hide a sneaky base, a sneaky fourth. Now, does Byun know anything about this? I don't think so. No, he does not. He's not even going to scout it with this medevac because of the way that it is moving. But this loading suggests that Byun knows where IdrA's 4th base is. No, he's actually going to go straight for the 3rd, and this 3rd is going to be reasonably okay in defense, but there's a lot of lanes coming in, and these Marines need to back away right now. Oh, I think Byun's about to find the hidden 4th base. Can he see it? Yes, he can. So Byun knows about this hidden 4th base, and he's actually going to lose these Marines. Yes, he does. Only 3 survive that entire ordeal. Byun continuing to just expand to his 3rd, expand. That's the way to go. Centrifugal Hook's almost done, which means we should be seeing a bunch of Banelings being morphed in very soon. Could we see a massive Baneling bust through this bunker? I'm not entirely sure, but it could be a good thing. It could be a good idea. Now, it looks like IdrA actually decided to go already, finishing his pneumatized carapace, but unfortunately he is going to lose that overlord, which puts him in a supply cap. Meanwhile, we do have 12 Mutalisks being popped out right now. I'm not entirely sure if that's the best decision, seeing that Byun is sticking to Marine Mine, which is actually pretty much the super duper hard counter to Mutas. Of course, the Banelings will be able to take out most of the forces, unless, of course, the mines do a lot of damage to those Banelings, which is why you need the Lings to go in first to bait all the shots of the Widow Mines before everything else can actually just rush in. We do have a bit of a scary force coming in for IdrA, but unfortunately with this kind of scary force of just Marines and Mines, it's not going to do a lot of damage. I think even with the +1 armor and +1 attack, IdrA is probably in a slightly worse off position right now when it comes to unit composition. But is he going to try and book it right now? I don't think that's such a good idea. He is going to get rid of 1 mine at least. That's a good engagement for him. But oh, here comes the attack, and the Overseers of course are going to see, oh, huge shot by those Widow Mines. I think they took out a lot of Marines as well. I can't exactly tell. I didn't actually see that. Wait, maybe we can go back just a little bit. Just a little bit. You can be a little, yeah. Now you can be a little bit more accurate with your replays, replay skipping or replay going through your replay. You can be a little bit more accurate with it instead of just having to go through like minute by minute. But let's have a look at how good these Widow Mine shots were. Okay, they did actually take out a lot of lings as opposed to a lot of Marines, which is why IdrA has to leave right away. Now, unfortunately, I thought those Overseers would move a little bit quickly, seeing that the overalls move a lot faster now, but it looks like they're not going to. We do have a few more Banelings coming in, and these Marines are just going to take out all these Baneling eggs, and that's a little bit unfortunate for him. We do have the drilling claws. Wow, we do have the drilling claws coming in for Byun, so he's really trying to commit to just mass marine Widow Mine off 3 base, which is fair enough. Meanwhile, IdrA probably needs to get some more drones on this base. He does have a reasonably okay mineral collection rate, so that's good. It's definitely a lot more than Byun at the moment, but he definitely needs those minerals to try and keep up. And unfortunately, right now he can't engage right now because I think it's not going to do a lot of damage. But those Banelings do actually do quite a bit of damage. There's a lot of Marines that are on really low health. Ooh, huge Widow Mine shot right there, and all the Banelings are just going to roll in right now. There's actually no more Marines. Oh my god, there's no more Marines. These Mutalisks are going to go straight at it, but unfortunately there's some reinforcement Marines, so these Mutalisks and this entire Zerg force needs to run away right now. I absolutely love this creep spread by IdrA. It's really good for his units, especially his lings and especially his queens too, just to run around all over the place. He's basically got vision of almost the entire map, or of almost half the map anyway. So that's actually going to be really good for him. Meanwhile, these lings with their 2-2 attack, with the 2-2 upgrades, is actually just tanking a bit of the damage from the Marines. Meanwhile, the Widow Mines are actually doing a bit of damage, not killing a lot though. But unfortunately, the Marines are currently sitting at a really low level. If you look at the units tab right now, it is 33 Marines, which I think was a lot less than what was there before. As you can see right now, these queens with a lot of armor and health, really, they can tank so much damage from the Marines and a few Marauders. If we look at the ever so lovely units lost tab right now, it has been 70 workers apparently. Byun managed to lose 70 workers. I'm not entirely sure how that worked, although surprisingly I think there's something wrong with the units lost tab right now. This is not the units lost tab, this is the units tab. So in fact IdrA did not actually lose 5 queens. He in fact lost no queens. He had 5 queens to begin with. Silly units lost tab, that's the units tab. Go home, units lost tab, you're drunk. Anyway, we do have a 5th base coming down for IdrA, which is perfectly okay. See that the 4th base, which is a planetary fortress, has already come down for Byun, and this game is going to go on for quite a while. This is going to be a pretty long macro game, and Zerg is going to have a bit of trouble taking out all these Marines. That's the really big thing right there, I think. Right, that there. I think with the hive tech coming up, IdrA should proceed to move into some other tech. He needs to also get some upgrades onto his Mutalisks, because we already have the 2-2 on the Marines and the Marines Marauder, and we do have no armor for his Widow Mines though, so the Widow Mines are back to are as per usual. 3-3 coming on for the Bio Army right now. Meanwhile, IdrA's huge force right here is going to swing in, and unfortunately he doesn't have 3-3 of his own coming because Hive isn't even done yet. A nice little engagement right here, good little victory, and he is going to try and take out the fourth, or the third really. He's going to actually try and take out the bunker first, and of course those mainlings are going to take out so many SCVs. Oh my goodness, that's actually quite a good victory for IdrA as he forces Byun to lift, but unfortunately lifting the command center won't actually do anything. Lifting the orbital command won't do anything because there's mutas there. It's going to take out the third of Byun. Byun needs to try and bring back a third somewhere else, because right now it is 5 base Zerg versus 3 base Terran, and Byun is almost finished mining his main base. Meanwhile, we do have a huge engagement right here. The mutas are trying to do their best against the Marines. The Marines are trying to hold as much as they can. They actually are dying, which means it looks like IdrA currently in a pretty damn good situation. He is going to try and break through, but we do have this huge reinforcement army coming in, so IdrA needs to back away right now, which is a good idea. Strangely enough, we have this random overlord, and it looks like that army of reinforcements managed to take out the fourth of IdrA, which means basically now it is 3 base Terran versus 4 base Zerg. Oh, we do have a bit of harassment right here for IdrA, and that's actually good enough in that he actually managed to bring them all away. These overlords need to run away right now, because if the overlords die, then obviously the widow mines get to have free reign and just destroy everything. Unfortunately, the creep spread right there is going to prevent Byun from landing his orbital command. He should probably get rid of the spine crawlers as well. Now we do have 3-3 upgrades coming in for IdrA. I think he really needs to try and transition into something else, something like ultras, for example. That might be a really good idea, especially with that much gas. If he can somehow figure out a way of getting a lot more resources. He is getting his new 5th, and he's going to have to defend it against these 8 Marines. Of course, that's not going to be too difficult because there's just a bunch of banelings right there. That's going to be way too easy. This game is actually turning out to be pretty damn exciting, because we do have a lot of attacks and counterattacks from both IdrA and Byun right here. Both players with their APM sitting at over 200. IdrA currently just a little bit lower, but of course that doesn't really mean that much. We do have adrenal glands coming in for IdrA, so he is actually going to stick to just lings, and as I said, we do have the Ultralisk cabin coming down, and Byun, does he know about this? No, he does not, so he needs to figure out a way of reacting to that. Marauders no longer the way to do this. I mean, well, actually they kind of still are, but Marauders are just not going to cut it, and with that many Marines, Byun is going to have a really hard time against these ultras, especially since IdrA thinking of not stockpiling his resources. Actually, I would have thought he would stockpile his minerals, seeing that his ultralisk den is just done now, so he needs to actually wait a bit for some more resources to get the amount of units. And apparently I'm having a really hard time doing the lasso thing. But anyway, we have this huge scary army from Byun, which is made up of Marine, Marauder, Widow Mine. It's been sticking to that the entire game. Meanwhile, these 5 Widow Mines, if IdrA realizes that there's 5 Widow Mines, you could probably swing in a couple of Mutalisks right on top of that mineral line and just completely wreck everything with those Widow Mines. But anyway, we do have an attack coming in from Byun with the preeminent split right there. Is a good choice, but those Widow Mines do so much damage against everything, and now the Ultralisk is here. Has Byun actually seen it? I think IdrA is just simply trying to hide the fact that he has Ultralisks just a little bit, and huge, not huge fungal, but pretty good fungal nevertheless. The fungals, of course, are going to try and stop Byun from microing his Marines and Marauders away from the Ultralisks and trying to hide them, because I think stimmed Marines and Marauders do move a little bit faster than Ultralisks on creep. I might be wrong on that one, but Stim, Marine and Marauder is pretty damn difficult against. It's pretty damn okay, I guess. Not necessarily good, but okay versus ultras, especially ultras of creep. But of course, if your units get fungled, then of course you can't move. and the Ultras will just come in and eat everything up. Now we do have a bunch more factories coming in. I think Byun should try and transition into siege tanks maybe, or Thors, and that was actually a good engagement for Byun right there, taking out those ultralists, taking out those overlords in fact, going to supply cap IdrA, but that huge fungal actually managing to take out so many units for IdrA. That was a huge engagement in his favor. Right now it looks like the the supply for both players has actually come back to normal, but right now we do have an engagement here, a little bit of harass. We also have a multi-pronged attack from Byun. This is going to show how his APM really just helps, as this is probably why he was runner-up, but unfortunately a lot of those units did actually die to those fungals, and a lot more died to the fungal and ultralisk combination. So right now there's no more marines. Oh, so these marauders are going to die. So then it looks like the entire army died in order to destroy IdrA's 5th. Meanwhile, the multi-pronged attack actually managed to destroy IdrA's 4th as well, so that's actually a pretty good move from Byun. As you can see right now, IdrA really needed those fits, really needed those bases actually to continue to mine from in the game, as he is not mining from his main or his natural. He is only mining from his 3rd right now. He really needs to get up his 3rd. He really needs to get up that base again. He also needs to try and do a bit of harass on Byun's 3rd. That would be really good, especially if he moves one of those mutas into just around about here. That would do a lot of damage because of this Widow Mine. We do have a bunch more infestors being made, which I think is a really good idea, since IdrA has an abundance of gas. He's got 3,000 gas. He has nothing to do with those. He can't make ultras right about now because he simply does not have the minerals. Meanwhile, Byun also with a ridiculous amount of gas. He should probably try and make some other gas heavy unit to try and make sure that his army is well. But right now, a few good fungals would actually wreck this army right now. But I don't think we're going to see them just yet. We'll find out soon enough. Yes, indeed, we will find out soon enough, as I'm just making sure that my microphone was actually on that entire time. Just in case I do, I do something retarded. Anyway. A few more Banics being morphed in from IdrA. It looks like he's going to stick to this Ling Bane Muta Ultra Festa army, as opposed to the continued aggression of the Medic Marine Marauder and Widow Mine army. But oh, could we see these good fungals, and this entire army is actually clumped up just a little bit, and they actually are on the hold command, or the stop command anyway. Can't exactly tell with this UI, but anyway, we do need to see some good fungals from IdrA. That's the only way he's going to be able to win this battle. I mean, these units could kite all day, but can we see the fungals? These infestors are just moving in. I don't know what they're doing. Here we go. There are the fungals, and the Ultra is going to try and kill everything right now. We do have more fungals. Can we see some chain fungals? Yes, we do. And oh my god, these Ultralisks getting transfused by the Queens as well. They're actually going to take out the entire army. Oh my god. And that was a pretty damn good engagement for IdrA. As you can see, his mutas actually, he actually managed to get his mutas to go all the way back so that they don't actually die from the Marines and the Marauders, as the Ultralisks just tank all of that damage so that they can just destroy that entire army with those fungals as well. So as you can see right there, this is how good fungals and ultralisks can be against bio. Meanwhile, this small force, Byun needs to use this small force to just get right back into the game by harassing and destroying additional bases set up by IdrA. IdrA right now in quite good momentum, as he managed to destroy that army. He does still have quite a bit of a scary force. Meanwhile, Byun still with the huge amount of Marine Marauder is actually quite absurd. If we look at the units tab though, Byun has, oh, it looks like their worker count is roughly the same, which is why both players are still managing to just sort of try and hold on. Meanwhile, it looks like Byun, even though he has more supply, I feel like his army composition is just not going to be as effective against IdrA's army composition of just like Ultras and Festus, and already IdrA with the smack talk. Oh yes, there's that IdrA rage that some people have been longing to see, but it looks like Byun realizing that knowing how bad he is, and oh, IdrA continuing with the smack talk anyway. And I suppose in one way IdrA could be correct. I think at this point, seeing that Byun has seen those Infestors and those Ultralists, he really needs to transition into something else other than just Marine, Marauder, Medevac, and Widowmite. I really don't know why he is just continuing to make this bio army. He really should try and go into mech, because mech is actually pretty damn strong against Zerg, and right now we could be seeing another engagement. Oh, Fungals on the Widowmites. It's going to actually show where the Widowmites are, but unfortunately, oh, we do have some more Fungals on the bio army as well, and the Ultras are just going to clean everything up with their 5-3 upgrades, and of course these Queens getting in the action too with their 3 armor. Of course they have no ranged attack upgrades, so obviously they're not going to do that much damage to this bio army, but they will tank a bit of the damage at the same time. These Infestors still with quite a bit of energy. Some of them have more than enough for a fungal. I think he's got like I'm guessing about 4 more in there. Oh, good harassment right there. Should be able to take out a couple of those workers anyway. IdrA really needs to get his Mutalisks back out of that base, because Byun's huge army's just gonna come in right again, and he could just try and do this 1A move again, but unfortunately he's actually split his Marine Aurora pretty damn well, so at least the Ultras gonna have a bit of a hard time. But unfortunately with those Fungals, the Ultras are just gonna clean everything up, and I really think Byun currently in a horrible situation, and I don't see how he can recover from such a loss. Even though right now their supplies are very similar, and even though Byun is somehow getting higher just a little bit, but now he's actually a lot lower, the unit composition is key in this battle, because it's just Marines versus Ultras and Fungals. There's absolutely no way that Marines... Well, okay, there's really no way that Marines are going to come out of this in an even remotely effective way. Meanwhile, the Ultras and the Infestors will be able to deal quite a lot of damage, especially since this is not, say, Bronze, Silver, or Gold League, where you randomly move your Infestors into the Marines, and obviously then the Marines could just destroy all the Infestors, and what do? You have no Fungals. No, this is something else. This is Grandmaster League. Yeah, it really is something else. This is Grandmaster League, where basically those kind of mistakes rarely ever happen, because the players are just so good. But we do have a bunch of changelings actually moving right the hell in, and these Mutalisks still continuing to do some harass. Good idea to harass this base, because it's one of Byun's few mining bases actually. He's got no more, and he's got no more mining bases at all, and right now could we see another engagement here? I don't think Byun is going to come out of this again. I mean, unless IdrA really screws up with those Fungals, or unless Byun manages to split, but right now we do have the engagement coming in, and the Ultras once again going to just wreck everything with those Fungals actually stopping Byun. He's not even microing his Marines. The Marines that don't get Fungal, he really should try and micro them away, and unfortunately some of the Infestors aren't getting killed, but it doesn't matter, because the Ultras are just coming in, and they're like, what's up, son? They're just gonna kill everything right now. And I'm glad I picked this game first, because I really don't want to go through all the other games that IdrA's done, because some of them could be pretty damn silly, some of them could be pretty damn good. I just don't know which ones are which, because he hasn't actually he decided not to give them names this time, so I actually have no idea what to expect from each game. But right now I know exactly what to expect. I think IdrA's actually going to come out on top with this game, as long as he keeps those Infestors and... well, as long as he keeps the Infestors alive, I think IdrA is just going to win the game outright. It's just going to take a bit of time, a bit of patience, before he can break through and just completely destroy everything that Byun has. But I really think this army he's got right here should be enough to take out Byun altogether, especially since right now Byun is actually at a massive supply deficit against IdrA, and he's also got next to no minerals. He's just trying to He's just trying to desperately mine from this base, and unfortunately that's not going to happen. Meanwhile, IdrA, not realizing that he's actually in such a really good position right now, he really should just go for the attack, and it looks like he's going to position his units as he is going to go for the gold. He's going to go for a gold, guys, so he is going to get the gold expansion. Meanwhile, these Beetleists are just going to continue to try and do a bit of damage, but he can't harass this base anymore because of the Widow Mines. I'm not sure why Byun actually decided to make 3 engineering base. That's a bit of a strange thing to do, I guess, but either way, it looks like right now IdrA is actually just gearing up for the final attack, as we are actually reaching the end of the game, guys, so spoiler alert, I guess. Well, actually, I should have said spoiler alert before, but anyway, this is not really much of a spoiler because I think we know what's going to happen right here. Byun's not going to be able to come back from this game. IdrA's just got way too much. It's got a bunch of infestors, way too many ultralisks, and a couple of mutas for anti-air. There's really no way that Byun can come back. I really think if Byun made Thors, for example, or some sort of mech, or even air, that would have caused IdrA, of course, to shift and transition into something else, but unfortunately Marine Marauder was just simply not the right idea, and he's actually going to pull the SCVs. Yes, he's going to actually try and pull the SCVs in to try and tank a bit of damage, but unfortunately they are going up against Ultralisks, which means they're not going to tank quite a lot of damage, if not any damage. Like, they're going to tank a lot of damage as in like one swipe from the ultras, but right now can the ultras just do a lot of damage? And we do have the mana fungal right there, the chain fungal as well, going to kill a lot of those SCVs. I think it was from this infestor right here, getting 14 kills just like that. Oof, that is the special infestor right there. But the Widow Mines actually managing to hold IdrA back for just a little bit, so small victory. But right now here comes the attack from Byun. He's going to try and bait everything into those Widow Mines. That might be a good idea, but unfortunately the Ultralist with so much health. That's it, GG called by Byun, and that is it. IdrA has won the game. And as I just said, I really think if Byun decided to move away from his Marine Marauder Medevac Widow Mine composition into something else, I think that would have actually caused IdrA to transition himself, and then the game could have probably continued for a little longer. I'm not entirely sure who would be the victor from that, but right now, as Terran just stayed with the same unit composition, of course Zerg would be able to transition into a composition that would just clearly outmatch this bio-mine army. So anyway, that was pretty interesting, and I definitely like this this new UI. Although I will say that that's sort of blocking the icon. But anyway, that's nitpicking. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you would like to see some more StarCraft 2 action. Follow me on Twitter at Magician88, but you can also follow me on twitch.tv/Magician88, where I stream sometimes. Probably not right now because uni has started, so I probably have to keep that to a minimum. But otherwise, I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.